And we are live on Facebook. Hello, Facebook friends and family. I'm Love Coach Scott Catamas, and I'm with a wonderful group of people. Debra Giusti, Celestine Star, Debra Garcia, Swami Beyondanda, but most of all, we are with our beloved Fantuzzi, who's got the Aurora Borealis going on behind him there. In the miracle of modern technology. So pull up a chair and join us. We're going to have a wonderful evening. And it's going to be mostly listening to Fantuzzi play music, acoustic this time. We've got the sound worked out for those who were with us last week. And I want to turn it over to my friend and my partner in creating this, Debra Giusti.
Yes, and it's so wonderful to have you here tonight again. This is our second evening of sharing online love and connection. And this time we're bringing in humor at this very special time. And it's for Fantuzzi to support him in his healing, but it's also for all of us. Because as you know, this is an amazing time where not only all of us, but the world is going through a very deep process of challenge, of uncertainty. And it's when community can come together that we can inspire healing and transfiguration and transformation that's possible with this amazing adventure we're going on now. So this is, we're coming together here to celebrate, but also to share healing and love, and for our beloved partner Fantuzzi as well. So happy to be with you here. We were actually going to have a live evening in my temple in Sebastopol. So happy to bring it to you online and really share it with the world. Because last year we had people from all over attending. Isn't that right, Scott? We had people from all over the world, over 100 people attending, and it was really beautiful.
And we've already got about 35 people with us right now. And the way we can get more people is please go ahead and share this on your timeline. So if you're watching live on Facebook, just click share and you can put it on your timeline or in a group. Thank you, Debbie Garcia, for putting it on Spirituality Gone Wild and Love Coach Academy. And for anybody that, we've got about 35 people in our webinar room. And I put into the chat box the link to my page where you could go still on Facebook and share it. So let's get the word out there. Let's get lots of people watching. And I am going to be periodically bringing people on who are going to share memories of Fantuzzi, where you first saw him perform, your favorite song, a memorable moment, a dance you had with a lover to Fantuzzi, a dance you had with Fantuzzi. Whatever it may be. So with no further ado, speaking of the man, Fantuzzi, I am going to put the spotlight on you. Ed, I need you to unmute so we can hear him. There we go.
Hi.
And want to thank that being that you just saw flashing through is Ed Ellsworth, our tech master who's made all this happen. So thank you, Fantuzzi. The spotlight is on you.
Well, you want me to sing a song?
Yeah.
Why not? I'm so glad to be here with you again. And like Debra said, we had a plan to be together in the same room, in the same temple space. But now each of us have to be in our own temple space, but we're still together. So thank you for tuning in. Had a lot of time and having a lot of time now again to just like reflect, which I hope it's what you're doing too. And it's not all easy, but we have to, develop those inner muscles to be comfortable with nothing, to be comfortable with prayer, to be comfortable with ourself. And so at some point I did this sort of retreat on my own self and stopped speaking for about 6 months. And a lot of fasting, very, very little eating. And this song came by. So I want to sing it to you. It's called You Gotta Let It All Go. I hear the seagulls, I hear them cry. It's a mere reflection of what goes on inside. From your fears, your loneliness and sorrow, no, you can't run away. Become friends with yourself. Oh, come on and stay. You gotta let it all go. Brothers and sisters, you got to let it all go. All your beliefs, your tricks and techniques, you got to let them all go. Sometime, don't you know? And I've learned so many ways to go inside. But now I let them all go in the wind and let them fly to the sky. 'Cause I learned up better in a brand new way. That's just to be present with you. And whatever it is, right here and now, today. Remember this, my friends, you've got to let it all go. All of your ego, you got to let it all go. All your fear, your loneliness, you got to let it all go. Sometime, don't you know? Come on, come on. You got to let it all go. I've got to let it all go. You got to let it all go. We've got to let it all go. We got to let it all go. Sometime, don't you know?
Thank you so much, dear Fantuzzi, for that beautiful, perfect first song. And again, a reminder for people watching, if you want to share a memory of Fantuzzi, send me a note, or Debbie goes, Debbra Giusti, send us a note to the chat box about what you want to share. And the very first person who's going to share a memory of Fantuzzi is, I think, a longtime friend of his. And I'm putting the spotlight on the one and only Swami Beyondanda. And Swami is doing a mime right now for us, but I'm sure that in a moment we'll be able to hear him. While we wait for Swami to get that together, I'm going to turn it back over to my partner, Debbie, maybe to share a little bit about Swami Beyondanda.
Well, last week we thought, with everything going on, it's really important to have humor, because life these days can really be intense. And Swami has been a very humorous holy man for our community for many, many eons now. And I think, is he there, Swami?
Yep, sounds like he's there.
Not quite. All right. And what I love about him is not only is he very punny, he knows what's going on in the world and brings true truth to his humor. So you really laugh at a gut level, which is really important these days.
I can't find my way out of here.
Oh, there he is.
Can you hear me?
Aha, yes. Yes, Swami.
You can hear me.
We can hear you. Please bless us
Oh,
with your words of
oh,
wisdom.
oh, can you see me?
We can see you, Swami.
That's great. I can't see myself and I can't hear myself, but that's okay. You know, I really enjoyed hearing Fantuzzi play that song, and I can certainly relate to what he's been talking about as far as going on a silent retreat. Uh, I went on a silent retreat not that long ago, and it was so quiet you could hear an opinion drop. That's what it was. The other thing that happened was that I met a great mindfulness teacher who said, if you want to practice mindfulness, the best way to do that is to clear the mind of all thoughts and focus on the center of yourself. And I did it, and it absolutely worked. I'm now thoughtless and self-centered. Now, the other thing is that I want to actually say how much I have appreciated Fantuzzi. I've been a Fantuzzi fan, and I'm sure there's plenty of other Fantuzzical fans out there watching this. And I really support him in this challenge that he has dealing with Lyme disease, which is of course a ticking toxin caused by a toxic tick, right? And so it's very important that we actually mobilize all of our love energy, all of the great energy that we have, and we share this with Fantuzzi right now. Very, very important that we do that. And the other thing is, of course, it is very important to be able to laugh. Very important to be able to laugh and to move the laugh force through the body. This is something that's healing. The laughter yoga people know that laughing for no reason at all is a good enough reason to laugh. And so I'm going to help everybody out there move the laugh force through the body. Now, we know that the chakras each have a sound associated with them, and we're going to focus on 3 specific chakras: the belly chakra, which has the O sound, the heart chakra, which has the Ah sound, and this chakra right up here, which has the E sound, E, okay? But if we put a H in front of the vowels, we get ho, 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 ha, 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 he, he. So in your seats, wherever you are, take this and this very powerful practice. Begin with the belly, ho, 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 then move it up, ha, 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 and then he, and then back down, ha, 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 ho, 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 ha, 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 he. And do this twice a day. This is the healing process. A good vowel movement. That is what's going to help.
Thank you for that vowel movement, helping us all to move that energy. Thank you, Swami. And we're going to hear from Swami a couple more times tonight. And a reminder that if any of you are wanting to be on camera and to share a memory of Fantuzzi, please do so. And the best thing to do is to private message me in the chat box and let me know kind of what your memory is. I'm just going to ask people to keep their memories to about 1 minute long, if at all possible. And I am now putting the spotlight back on Mr. Fantuzzi. And I think we're ready for another song, Maestro. You're muted. So Ed, you got to unmute.
Unmute me.
There you go. Now we can hear you.
Okay, how about now? You can hear me?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay. So this next song that I'm feeling like sharing is a song called Holy. And it's on my last or second CD called Divine Inspiration. And it's spelled WHOLLY. And it came once on an ayahuasca journey or shortly after. Sometimes actually I might say it was between that space of after and in the middle of it. Well, I hope you like it. I think it's one of my favorite songs. You have blessed me with love, and love has shown me the way. Mother, Father, God divine in the highest. Mother, Father, God is in each and every face. And to love and to serve you, I need not go no place. You need not go no place. Right where you are is perfect. Holy and divine, brother, sister, holy, holy way. Yeah, holy and divine, most glorious and perfect way. Oh yes, most divine and joyful way. Chopping wood and carrying water, I will serve you in each way, my Lord. Chopping wood and carrying water, in each act it's you, my Lord, that I praise. It's you, my Lord, that I praise. And to the front line you have sent us, fearless love warrior, to share your love away. Mother, Father, God, to the front line you have sent us, to shine your love ablaze. Ooh, yeah, to shine your love ablaze. Holy and divine, most perfect divine way. Oh, holy, holy and divine. This day, this most perfect and glorious day.
Absolutely beautiful and exquisite. Thank you, beloved Fantuzzi. We're going to bring a couple friends on to send a little bit of love from all around the world. And I think you might know this first one I'm bringing on. I have a feeling you might recognize him. Khalil, you are on camera. Spotlight is on you. And for anybody who doesn't know, this is Fantuzzi's son.
Hola, familia. How's everybody? Give blessings, give thanks. I really appreciate everybody being present in our lives at this time as we support my father in his healing. And we understand that this is a healing that we all need, and how interconnected we are. And it's an amazing time to be present in terms of becoming more self-aware and being aware of how we connect as community, even if physically we are not connected at the moment, spiritually, and there's so many other ways we can connect. And I'm here in Brooklyn, New York, and it's just an awesome time to be given so much love and attention to my father, who is going through some challenging times. And I just wanted to share one of my most amazing moments is and a couple years back, I was getting married to my queen Samra, who's Eritrean, and we were trying to figure out how we wanted to do the celebration part. because my wife is from an Orthodox Coptic ancient Christianity form, and we were at the Jewish Cultural Center, and we were trying to figure out how they were going to react to Papa Tuzzi and his live band, and he started singing salsa reggae, and the whole place went crazy, and we knew that in that moment we were all dancing to celebrate life, and you know, every time I hear his music, his lyrics, it reminds me of what his spirit is meant to be on this earth, and what his message is, and how through devotion and through song and through celebration we're able to uplift each other in these precious times.
Oh, thank you so much, Khalil. Thank you. Ah, that's really beautiful. What's it like being Fantuzzi's son? What's that like?
It's an amazing journey that I continue to experience new parts of the experience every day, and to see how he's adapted, and to see everybody coming together. It's a joyous occasion, and I feel really honored that my parents both chose me to be on this planet. And big love, Papa Tuzzi, I love you.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Khalil. We're going to hear from I'm going to hear from Debra Haviland, also known as Mujiba, and then Karen Solomon, both giving a couple of, each is going to share a brief memory of their experience of Fantuzzi. Debra, you're up.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's such a pleasure to be here. To Fantuzzi, I'm looking for him right there. Is Fantuzzi there?
He's here.
There you are. Blessed brother, amazing, amazing friend forever. And I remember my first memory of Fantuzzi was I was with a whole satsang with John Panama in Santa Cruz, and it was probably like, I don't know, 1978 or something. And we were the wild group anyway. I mean, you know, I can see how we attracted Fantuzzi, because we were completely giving our lives to God and surrendering everything and just singing song. And in walks this magical being, Fantuzzi, beloved sweetheart brother, oh my God, with Sally and I think Teresa Bell. And from then on, we've been friends, and I have seen you at so many festivals, the Health and Harmony Festival, which Debra Giusti ran for 35 years, and in Costa Rica recently at the Envision Festival, on Mount Shasta on the trail at the Harmonic Convergence, I think, and in Maui. And it's always just like, total soul family, soul brother. He's always singing the truth, singing the love. And as your beautiful son, Khalil, said, you bring such an amazing message of the love and the truth that we all need. That's our medicine, through so much song, colorful beauty, and your courage to just be yourself. So I pray that we will all give to this GoFundMe to support, as Khalil said, Papa Tuzzi. I love him, Papa Tuzzi.
Thank you very much, Debra. Thank you. Thank you for your share. We're going to now hear from Karen Solomon. Karen, what's your memory that you want to share?
Hey, everybody. It's nice to, these days of kind of everybody exclusively everywhere else, it's nice to have a little community touch in. And Fantuzzi, we don't know each other well at all, but I've been to many a concert similar to Debra all over the place. But for me, I've been to Burning Man 6 times, Debra Giusti, all with you. And the very first time I was there was 2000. And there was a night after the burn, probably 1, 2 in the morning, where you were playing, and there was a 3-story high lingam with gorgeous oiled skinned men stoking the flames under said lingam as it burned into a 2-story high yoni. And it was one of the most ecstatic evenings of my life, all with you playing in the background. And I know you remember that moment. And, and I felt like he's kind of like our hometown dude. I was there at Burning Man, and that was really freaking cool. So thank you. Out of all my Burning Man experiences, that is the pinnacle experience for me of ecstasy at the burn. So I take that with me.
That's pretty amazing experience. Do you remember that time, Fantuzzi?
Oh, come on. Who can forget something like that?
Seriously,
That was
great
also
story,
one of
Leo.
my favorite moments, too.
Just
Uh,
but just saying.
Beautiful. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Khalil. And we'll hear from some other Fantuzzi friends. I always thought, and I said this for years, there must be 6 Fantuzzis because wherever I was, there he was. He was in Maui. He was at this festival. He was at that festival. He lived in my home in Beverly Glen Canyon for a while. I mean, he was everywhere. And you are truly a global troubadour. And Tuesday, with all that inspiration, I'm putting the spotlight back on you, and I think we're ready for another song.
Ho, ho, ho. Lord of mercy. The mother is finally getting a break. She's being able to breathe because we're not all in cars blowing smog, and airplanes aren't filling up the air with junk. And I call this song Hotter and Hotter, and it's dedicated to her. And we are her, and she is us, because we are so connected. Woo! Yeah. Just imagine Carlos Santana playing. It's getting hotter, hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter. And water is rising, it's rising, it's rising, it's rising, it's rising. The glaciers are melting, they're melting, they're melting. It's global warming, it's warming, it's warming. So what's the solution? Always a little more love. Gotta believe it. What's the solution? Stop burning so much fossil fuel. What's the solution? Plant a garden. Come on, man. Oh, what's the solution? Shower with a friend. We love you, Mother Earth. Thank you for your blessings. Hallelujah. It's getting hotter, hotter and hotter and it's hotter. The earth, she is calling. She's calling, she's calling, she's calling. So we heed to her warning, her warning, her warning. Come on, let's do something for the mother, for each other. I know we can do it. Call it recycling. What's the solution? Recycle, reuse, reduce, reduce. Oh, what's the solution? A little more prayer, a little more meditation. You got plenty of time for that now, man. Pachamama, that's what we call Mother Earth. Down south of the border, Mamacita. Pachamama, Madre querida, Madre divina. Pachamama, te quiero, te adoro. Ay, Madre divina. Pachamama.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Mr. Fantuzzi. And by the way, so people know, I'm saving the chat everything that comes in the chat box, and I will send it to Fantuzzi because a lot of you are sending special messages of love and reminiscing to him. But we are ready for our next experience of Swami. I believe that Swami has something to share with us. So you are.
I'm unmuted. I'm unmuted. I'm immutable. I love that song because it is so perfectly appropriate. What we need right now is the recognition that life is bigger than economics, because after all, I think people are coming to realize if we lose the earth, there goes the GDP, right? What we need now is political climate change, warmer hearts, and cooler heads. And we are having a head start. I'll tell you that, things are very, very dire, very strange right now with this new crisis. And people are asking, the new word to describe it, we have a situation. We have a situation. And people are asking, is this the hand of God at work or just the middle finger? People are asking that. No, really. And people are talking about the end times. I'm telling you. The end times. I met a man a few years ago who was actually disappointed and depressed because the rapture didn't happen. So the rapture didn't happen. It's not the end of the world, right? But, I went to the book of Revelations, and one of the things that it said, that is sign that the end times are near, you won't believe it, it said, and the last trump shall blow. Well, we know the trump blows. We definitely know that. But I'll tell you something. He is our balloon karma payment here to bring us a reflection of what we've been seeing for the past 5,000 years, ruled by the lowest common denominator. And this is left, the golden rule has been overruled by the rule of gold, which is do unto others before they can do unto you, which has left us with a lot of residue. And so the question that we're all asking, can we undo the doo-doo that has been done, or will the done doo-doo be our undoing? And so now we have a tremendous opportunity right here, right now, because this is the first war in human history where everybody is on the same side. We're all on the same side. I've said this for many times. There are no sides, only angles. And when we see it from the right angle, we're all on the same side. And I think we need to all take a deep breath and release some of that fear, knowing that nature always balances everything out, right? Okay, so here's an example. There's a toilet paper shortage. Oh, so what? Everybody is scared shitless. It's the natural thing. And here we are with March Madness. We've had March Madness without basketball. That is very unfortunate. We have a president who has proven beyond the shadow of a doubt that he has proven, not only has he proven that anyone can grow up to be president, he has proven you don't even need to grow up to be president. Now, I have only compassion for the man because behind every soulless heel, there is an unhealed soul. So you light workers who are tuning in, your job is not just to heal souls, but to re-soul heals. I have a new program for doing that. I call it From A-Hole to B-Hole. Okay? And so for all of us to be whole, we have to remember one thing. Love is more powerful than fear. That is very important. Otherwise, we'd be singing all you need is fear. She fears you, yeah. No, we're not singing that, and that is very, very good. And so part of this recognition is to allow that love to pass through us and flow between us, even if we cannot physically touch, we have to actually embrace through the ethers, okay? And so we breathe in together, we breathe out together. That is what they call a conspiracy. So we are a conspiracy right here. And breathing, that is the key to long life, as you know that, don't you? Because when we breathe in, we inspire, and when we don't, we expire. So let's all keep breathing and enjoy the rest of the program.
Thank you so much, Swami. I've got us on gallery view for a minute so you can see people twinkling you and appreciating you.
I felt a little twinkled.
Yeah, we're twinkling you, man. I love some of those
I've been
lines.
twinkled and twinkled quite a bit, and it's quite pleasant.
Thank you, Swami. Fantuzzi, I'm putting the spotlight back on you.
Uh-oh.
And yep, and this is actually kind of, we're about halfway through. And I'm wondering if you'd be willing to share with people a little bit about your personal journey, as we're all going through this coronavirus crisis, facing our own well-being, facing big issues. You've been doing that for a while now. So tell us about your journey.
Well, I was this summer, like I normally am, running around the planet, sharing some love. And I went to the Rainbow Gathering in Wisconsin and got bit by a tick and didn't know it. So I checked myself around my birthday in September, mid-September, because that's what I do every year, do a yearly check. And my doctor told me that I had Lyme's. And I knew something was going on because I was feeling such pain. But I wasn't telling anybody like a fool, thinking that I somehow was going to be able to get through it. But no, I had a swim, I remember, and I swam really hard just for fun and to push myself. And then I almost felt like it was time for going to the hospital. I had so much pain all over my body, all my muscles. The muscle spasms were so extreme painfully that I was like, I don't know, I was really hurting bad. And my joints, I couldn't even squat. And every time I squatted, I would, be in crazy, crazy pain. And brain fog was ridiculous. I couldn't remember people's names who were my best friends, and I was hanging out with them. And sometimes I didn't know where I was. I was driving a car, and I was like, so what town am I in, and where was I going? So it started getting a little freaky and intense, but I do believe that God has given me a little gift of just embrace what is and have a good chuckle like Swami inspires us to do. So even when I didn't know, I was trying to, calm myself down. Don't worry if you don't remember that person's name, that's your best friend, that you don't know where you are. You'll figure it out. Just take it easy rather than going into crazy stress and wanting to kill myself. Like, where am I? Who am I? What's going on? And I knew that I had to, when I found out it was Lyme and I studied it, I knew I had to put my focus on it 100%. Or otherwise, I was going to live with this possibly for the rest of my life, which lots of people end up having to. So I, went to some doctors and started taking all my different medications. And then I realized that these medications don't quite all do it. I take a lot of different kinds of mushrooms that help me. I'm doing therapy, ozone therapy. That's really, really good for me. And I'm having oxygen, and I'm doing infrared saunas every day. And everything is helping me. But this Lyme is such a tricky devil that you feel good one day and you think you got rid of it and you didn't get rid of it, and it comes back worse. So I'm working on getting this 100% out of my body. And I really appreciate everybody that's been helping me out. And I know that I'm going to make it, and especially with your help. So I'm optimistic. And, to give you a little idea of what, I'm in Marin County. So it's kind of an expensive town or county. And so I go to see one of the top Lyme doctors, and I have an interview for an hour and a half, and that was $1,200. And this week coming is $6,100 for 3 appointments with intravenously getting some really strong therapy, which I believe can do it, but we'll see. There's also hyperbaric therapy that I think I'll wait first to see what happens. But I found out that my doctor usually charges like $12,000 for that therapy. So there's all these therapies that are coming up and that are possible with your help. And I know that God has got my back. So I know that I'm going to make it, and I'm feeling really good about, taking time to do more prayer, more meditation, more just hanging out with myself and being at peace and sending out blessings back to everybody, because that's what we need in this world. I mean, Lord have mercy, so many people are dying. And I got to see somebody who was really, really sick. And that brought it home for me. I'm not alone in this journey. We're not alone. We're in this together. And, we may not all have it together, but together we can have it all, as I said the last time. So thank you. Thank you for being with me and helping me on this healing journey.
Thank you so much. I want to thank all the people who have been really involved in helping to raise money for Fantuzzi. Debra Giusti, Celestine, Jan Kaplan, all the community and family. Many of you have been contributing to Fantuzzi. Also, a couple months ago, we were all working on raising money for our beloved Trevor. And we raised over $30,000, and we got him to Mexico. He got the treatment that he needed. And Trevor left a couple nights ago for Australia. He realized that before they shut the borders because of the coronavirus, he wanted to be back home with his sisters. And he wanted to make sure, he called me from the airport. We had a really sweet connection. And he wanted to make sure that I thanked everybody for supporting him. And that's our global community. It was Trevor's time. We came together. We got him what he needed, and really certainly changed his life and extended a lot of time to his life. And now it's our beloved brother Fantuzzi's time. So please be generous with your green energy. Thank you, everybody who's been putting links in, both in our chat box here for the webinar. We've got right now about 67 people in the webinar room watching, and just about an equal number of people, about 60 people watching live on Facebook. So you got about 125, 130 people at any time listening to you sing right now, brother, from all over the world. With that, I think we're ready for another song.
Really? I'm going to bring it up a little bit because, I know that dancing is one of the greatest medicines. I haven't been doing enough of it, to be honest with you, since all this crazy pandemic. But I'm exercising, and it might be your time to stretch your body right now and dance your prayer. I want to thank Michael Beckwith and Ricky Byers for some of this song that I'm singing. Some of the words came from those two. I call this one Funkinade. That's right. I release, I let go. I let spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Woo! Yes, I'm only here for God, only here for love, yeah. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light, yeah. Free in the spirit. Lord of mercy, we're only here for God, only here for love. Repeat, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, oh yeah. Oh, oh yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh, oh yeah.
Oh, 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 yeah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, yeah.
Hallelujah.
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 Mother, Father, God, thank you, brothers and sisters, for giving me your love, sending out prayers. And we send them out to the world for some healing. I know that you get it down, you got the feeling. I thank you, mama, hurt my body. Agua mi sangre, aire, aire mi aliento, fuego mi espíritu. Fire my spirit, fire my spirit, fire my spirit, fire my spirit.
Right. Thank you. People are dancing all over the world.
I can't hear him. I guess he heard me.
We're hearing you, brother. We're hearing you. And lots of, just so many beautiful comments coming in. And I'm really happy to turn it over to two amazing women right now who are going to, we're still going to keep our attention on you, Fantuzzi, but it's Debra, Giusti, and Celestine.
And first of all, I want to thank everyone for sharing your green love. And if you donated now, why don't you put it in the chat room so we can see that green love coming to Fantuzzi. And I know at this time, there seems like there might be a contraction of finances in your life because we don't know what's happening and we don't know what's down the road. But even if you give a little bit, that opens up the flow of green love and green juju. So whatever you can, just go to the GoFundMe and share. And whatever you share gets doubled because the beloved Lori Grace is actually matching the donations up to $5,000. So we want to thank Fantuzzi, we want to thank Lori Grace for her generosity with that, and all of you out there for sharing the love. And that's how we support each other in family and in tribe and in community. And now we are really going to be able to use all this power, this energy, and this love that we've created in this gathering and put it to work with deep medicine in a very deep prayer ceremony that we're going to do together. And I really want to invite you to really utilize this energy and who we are now and our connection now and drop in really deep into your heart core. And I think a lot of you have been around, and especially around Fantuzzi, and know the power of prayer and the power of when we gather and we connect in spirit and in heart and put our intentions and our prayers out into the world, that magic happens, because we are definitely a magical tribe. And so I'd like to invite you to really drop in and participate with us now as we call in for the healing of Fantuzzi on a multidimensional level, where his guides, his spirit angels, and all of the universe can bring him what he needs energetically, financially, in his world, to bring him to health so that he can be the global, amazing troubadour that he's been for us for 50 years probably now, and continue his mission on the world. And because of the adventure we're going on now with the crisis, we are going to turn our prayers to ourselves as well and allow the openings for all the blessings, the healing, and everything that can come with this crisis to just turn around for us, and of course, for our beloved humanity and Mama Gaia. So we're going to take this energy that we have, that we're all connected, and really send our juju, our thoughts, our intention, our power out to the world. And our beloved, my beloved soul sister, our beloved soul sister, Celestine Star, who's a wisdom oracle, a teacher, a coach, and has been a high priestess for a long, long time, and can very deeply lead us in ceremony I'm going to give this over to her now so she can take us on this magical journey to use all our power of love for healing, love, and light, and all raise our frequency now. Celestine Star. We're not hearing you, Celestine.
I
There you go.
thing is, am I up? It just took
Yeah, now you are.
I think it was just a little lag time. So let's start with ding. That is one of my favorite sounds. Let it resonate throughout the world as the beginning of our meditation. And I meditated as to what to bring forward, and it's going to be a doozy. So get your sit bones, get yourself grounded for takeoff, because we're going to take off. We're going to lift the energy, not only for ourselves, for our beautiful Fantuzzi, but for the world. So in preparation to that, I have a few instruments, sounds that will be coming through, but we're going to begin by just closing your eyes. I invite you to close your eyes if you desire or not. And just feel yourself sitting here together as one community. We are strong, we are loving, and we have the most blessed being, Fantuzzi. We have you in our lives. And you jumped into my life, and I just want to say I honor you. I honor you. I honor you, brother. And I want to thank you for calling on me to be a part of your spiritual adventures, your spiritual journey. And it has always been. We bring the ancestors, the sounds of the Kumaya, the sounds of the goddess and the earth and the movements, and we bring it forth in prayer. And it has always been an honor for me. So together as we're sitting, we're going to begin by grounding ourselves and do whatever that looks like, but gently we can begin by breathing together. So let's take a breath in through the nose and all the way down to the belly and letting out the air through the mouth. And in doing this, as we breathe in and we let the energy, we collect all the tension and the fear and the pain and the suffering, not only for ourselves, but the world, and blowing it out, allowing us to become more present in this moment. And we're allowing the tension of the day to drop aside and remembering the laughter of Swami. We love you, Swami. Remembering the laughter and the positivity as we take one more breath and letting it out. Coming into focus now, we bring forth the light of the northern star, letting that gentle light pierce the mind, pierce the 8th chakra, coming into the body and anchoring in the sacrum, joining heaven and earth. As it comes down the spine, you can feel it lighting up all the chakras. Maybe you have to adjust yourself. Maybe you have to relax the shoulders. Maybe take a breath. Bringing your own higher divinity present now through that light of the northern star. And then up from the earth, bringing up, breathing it up if you need, but bringing up and feeling the energy of the Mama Gaia from the center crystal. She responds to your call. And we're calling her forth up through our legs, up through our body, our torso, and into the heart. We're asking for the love of the Gaia to come forth, all the love into our heart. And as we join heaven and earth in our heart, we take one more breath and just feel the intermingling of the power that you are right now as one individual in the whole of the world. And we thank you for your presence. And feeling your love now, we feel our love overflowing and filling the energy around us with love. And we feel that love overflowing out of our hearts. And maybe it flows into your hands, and you can put your hands up, and we can just feel the energy of sending love to Fantuzzi. And Fantuzzi, if you give us permission, we can send love to you, and you can use that energy, that sacred love, for whatever you need. But know that we are one with you. Just take a moment and feel that love flowing through you. And we're going to just take it a little step further. We're going to feel the energy of the grand central sun as it comes forth, rays move from the central sun through our sun in this galaxy. And it touches the planets as the rays of the sun come forth, the spiritual healing power to dissolve and resolve and let go of whatever it is that you've come here to let go of. Your very first song, feeling it pouring. As it touches the planets, it brings forth Pluto, Uranus, Neptune, Saturn, Mars, Venus, Earth, Mercury. It touches all the energies, and it touches the moon, reflects into your heart, feeling the power of all creation coming through our hands as it touches our heart, and it goes through our hands and into your being. And feeling that love, now we put our hands over our hearts and we tune into that intention that we have of why we're here on the planet and how we are here to move that coronavirus, to make it into a God code. It is only RNA. It is only DNA, RNA. It can be transmuted. It is an antenna, fibrous, photonic. And so just allowing ourselves, we're going to do 3 ahs, and we can release the hands and put ourselves in a place of balance and harmony. And tuning into the world, we tune into the coronavirus itself, that wave pattern, that frequency that is 96.3 in radionics. And we're going to tune into the limes and its frequency, because it also can be transmuted. And those people who are sick in the world and who need our love. And we're going to tone the sound of ah 3 times. The first time will be to just build the energy of love. The second time is to bring our love into one sound, one tone of empowerment. And the third, to transform all fear, disharmony, disease, any frequencies that are not in accordance with the love frequency of who we are. Taking a deep breath. And just feeling the love flowing out now. It moves along the ley lines. It moves into the earth, into the group, into the group mind. As we take the next breath. Feeling the love flowing. As one energy field, we circle the earth with our love, transmuting that RNA, DNA, that limes, whatever it may be that needs shifting in our lives. And for the final, let us bring positivity, laughter, children's laughter, the sound of waterfalls, the sound of your favorite waterfall, Fantuzzi. I know you and waterfalls. Yes, indeed. So this one is for you, Fantuzzi, and may it also go out to your family, to the world, as we take one last breath and tone the love. Kena moraya hanave shandavaro reba segandureba na ye o nengan hallelujah hallelujah na 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 kena marabayo kena marayo Kenaba hayo. I'm going to end with, from the silence, we focus our intent of why we are here. We focus for ourselves. We focus for Fantuzzi. We bring healing, love, truth, and oneness. And with this, we shall be triumphant. In the highest love for all time, thank you. Thank you, Scott and Debra, for bringing this through, and we love you. Aho.
Aho. Thank you. Let's all twinkle Celestine for that incredible, beautiful experience. Thank you so much, Celestine. And I'm going to actually follow up on a suggestion that Debra Giusti had, which is a great suggestion. A lot of people have donated. So I just want to thank June, Deborah Haviland, Michelle and Eliyahu, Michael, Jill, Luminessa, Bianca, Woody, and a whole group of anonymous people for your donations just now. Thank you very much. Please keep the donations coming in, and I'll acknowledge the ones that come in after this next song. So Fantuzzi, did you feel all that love coming your way?
My God, that was so yummy. Oh my God. I feel really touched, like I just came from heaven. Dropped in on earth for a song.
You are
make
well
sure
loved.
that this sounds okay. How's that, Scott?
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay. So before I do this song, because I know this is my last song, correct?
No, you've got two more. This and one more after this.
Oh, okay. So then I don't need to do the other. I'll just do the song. From Mother Africa. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Nita Oshun. Ide were were. Ide were were ita Oshun. To all my native brothers. Ide were were. And all my native sisters. Ide were were ita Oshun. Ide were were. Nitaya. Nita Oshun. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Nitaya. Ide were were. Blessings to all those all over the world who are suffering now. Healing come to all. Ide were were ita Oshun. Ide were were. Ide were were ita Oshun. Ochakine wa nita oshun. Shake, shake, shake. Ide wede wede. Ide wede wede nita oshun. Ide wede wede. Ide wede wede ita oshun. Ide wede wede nitaya. Ochakine wa ija oshun. Ide wede wede. Ide wede wede. Ide wede wede.
Thank you. And the sound mix is just right. So good job. Thank you, Ed. Thank you very much. We are going to bring back Swami for just a brief moment for him to kind of conclude what he might want to share. Swami, the spotlight is on you. And
First of
you
all,
are...
it was a wonderful, wonderful meditation from Celestine. And thank you for being an oracle. We need all of the oracles we can get these days, and ventricles too. We need oracles and ventricles so that we have a wholehearted experience. And with all of the healing energy, I have been called to channel. And to channel a healing message from a great spiritual teacher and healer from the late, great Bobby Darin. Okay, so I'm going to do something, Darin. Can I do that?
Yes.
Okay. Here comes. Goes like this. And this is for you, Fantuzzi, and this is for the entire planet. A healing song. Somewhere beyond disease, somewhere bodies are free. Someday we'll fly forever high and never again. Bodies failing somewhere beyond disease, high above low frequencies. Together we'll play on non-judgment day, and never again I'll go ailing. It's far beyond the stars, it's here right where we are. I know beyond a doubt, it's out beyond karma. We'll greet all other souls. Behold that we are whole. Happy we'll be beyond disease, and never again bodies failing. No more ailing, no more ailing, just soul sailing beyond disease, beyond disease, beyond disease.
Yay. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Swami. Thank you very much. People, this is being recorded, and yes, you'll be able to find it on my Facebook page and on the Facebook page of anybody who has shared it on their wall. We appreciate Facebook for saving these things. And also want to mention that Fantuzzi is going to do one more song. And then anybody who wants to come in and chat, we're going to have kind of open it up. And I can bring in about 15 people, little boxes. So if anybody really wants to share something, please put that into a private message to me, and I will start promoting people to panelists. And also, Debra and I are going to be doing something next Saturday. On April 4th, there's going to be a worldwide meditation for peace that happens to be taking place at 7:45 p.m. Pacific time. And so we'll come back right again, 7:30, same Zoom link. Hopefully Fantuzzi will bless us with music, and we'll probably have a few other special guests. So with that, thank you, everybody. Debra and I, and hopefully Swami and Celestine and Fantuzzi will stick around for a little bit to visit with people that want to chat. And Fantuzzi, the spotlight is on you for your final song.
This is one of my latest songs. I call it the Hopi Prophecy. Hopi Prophecy. When the earth has been ravaged and all the animals are all dying, a new tribe of people will be born upon this earth. Coming from all colors or races or creeds, known by the deeds, here to make the earth dream once again. Known as the warriors of the rainbow, warriors of the rainbow, warriors of the rainbow, welcome home. Say hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, ho. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, ho. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, ho. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, ho. So I have an answer to this prophecy. Now that the earth has been ravaged and all the animals are all dying, some of the humans too, a new tribe of people has been born upon this earth. That's right. We come from all colors or races or creeds, known by our deeds, here to make the earth green and loving, conscious once again. And we're known as the warriors of the rainbow, warriors of the rainbow, warriors of the rainbow, welcome. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, ho. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, ho. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, ho. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, ho. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, ho. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, ho. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, ho. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, ho. It's true. The prophecy is coming. We are here at that time where all the animals are dying, where we're needed to stand up for all creation. And I'm inviting you all to join me at a place where, my people in Puerto Rico have had it rough. We're looking at July 24th to 27th, doing our own little rainbow gathering on the magical island of Puerto Rico. But we're going to spread it and do it everywhere. Right now, wherever we are, we're doing it. Aho.
Aho, thank you. I'm going to put it on speaker view so whoever's speaking will be heard. And just a couple of announcements. So July 24th to 27th, Puerto Rico. Let's put that into our calendars.
Yeah.
And we'll do a lot of promotion for that. I want to also let people know that my organization, Love Coach Academy, is offering free online support twice a day, 9 o'clock in the morning, 6 p.m. Pacific time. And you can just go to my Facebook page or private message me for more information. We're offering empathy, relationship skills. Now is the time that we all want to work on relationships, and we're providing that free of charge. Celestine, I think you've got something you want to let the people know about.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. And there's so many texts and phone calls from around the world with people having difficulties, emotional difficulties, and just trying to figure out what is true, what is right. So I am available, and you can go to Celestine star.com, and you'll find the phone number and information on how to get in touch with me. But also on April the 16th, as many of you know, I'm part of the Galactic community. There's a little book. And so we're going to be doing a talk on the reintegration of humanity with our galactic star kin. And Debra Giusti is a part of that as well. But I'm going to be doing a talk specifically focusing in on this transformation that's happening. Not only are we transforming and transmuting the sickness, the disease, the fear, and all of that that's going on, but we are transforming our consciousness, and we're reorganizing as one species as the veil lifts and we become one species. So if you want to learn more about it, you can go to galacticearthcouncil.com, and there you can see where to sign up. So December 16th. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Celestine. And I want to thank more donors. We've had several people that have donated just in the last few minutes. My soul sister, Kathleen Gildred, Kelly Aldridge, Uma Robin Mackey. A big thank you to Janice Kaplan for all that she's done. Now, we're at $9,600 that we've raised for Fantuzzi. Let's top that $10,000 mark. So I'm really hoping that in the next 10, 15 minutes, let's get another $400 coming in, whether it's $10 here, $100, whatever you can afford. Let's top that $10,000 mark, okay? And we are going to stay and chat a little bit with people. Debra, did you have something you wanted to share?
Yes, I also would like to offer a gift to community. Last year, I wrote a book called Activate Your Soul Tribe, and it's about how we incarnate together like this soul tribe that's showing up, that's all congregating around Fantuzzi now, and shows how we're all interconnected. And we also all plan to come in at this time and do our mission at this time. We're all connected by soul contracts. So I have a book that's 32 pages, so it's really easy to read, that you can download. And it's called Activate Your Soul Tribe. And soon I'm going to have a print book, Activate Your Soul Tribe. So I just like to share that gift with you because it gives us the consciousness of why we're all interconnected, what we're here to do together, and how we can co-collaborate in really dynamic way. And you can find your soul tribe. So I just wanted to share that. And I'll put the link in the chat room as well.
Great. Thank you, Debra Giusti, for all you do to create community. Thank you again, Swami. And if anybody wants to come in and chat for a little bit, send me a message and we'll bring you up. Fantuzzi, do you have any other thoughts you'd like to share with people?
Well, I've been doing this light touch work, and it's about helping people personally with their relationships, with their whatever issues are coming up for them. And if I could be of service to you, I'm sure you could find me on the internet almost too easy. Fantuzzi at fantuzzimusic.com is my email. But also, it's strange how this whole thing is happening with us having to stay at home, and how we're able to touch only in this way at this moment. And I've been asked to do a Fantuzzi show with having guests, and I'd like to start that really soon. And so just keep an eye out and an ear out and your heart out for it. I'm going to bring on some of the most amazing cultural heroes of our time who I've been blessed to be buddies with, and scientists and just great thinkers that'll blow your mind, which is what we all need sometimes for a reset and get inspired. So more of this kind of stuff that we're doing.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. And I want to thank Jake Mabanta and Lena Armstrong Strober for their generous donations. We're getting closer and closer to $10,000, people. Let's pop it in there. Let's make it happen before we go offline here. And also in the chat box, for those of you in the webinar room, in the chat box, There's the information from Celestine and from Debra Giusti, how to get it. There was one link that went into for the GoFundMe that seems to be dead. So if you happen to be using that link, just go to GoFundMe and write in the words in the search bar, Fantuzzi, Fantuzzi, and it'll take you to the proper place to donate. So thank you everybody who is donating, and anybody who's challenged. You'll find it under Fantuzzi. And we are, I guess, pretty much wrapping up. I brought Janice in. I want to thank Janice and her partner, Jay Mayer, for all that they've done to make this happen. So there's Janice and Jay. They've been amazing at creating a lot of support for Fantuzzi and running the light touch that he just talked about in the GoFundMe campaign. Janice, anything you want to say?
Well, it's just always such a thrill to be, you know, in a supporting role here, but it really is a beautiful community. And I just have to thank you all for really creating, you know, this beautiful evening tonight, you know, where Fantuzzi can just really relax. You know, he's healing, he's in the middle of ozone therapies and all kinds of things. And but as he said to me on the phone today, he goes, you can't keep him down. You know, you just can't keep him down. So just blessings really to everybody here, and deep gratitude for great community and
miracles
and miracle
and
healing.
healing,
Yeah.
you know, and healing through miracles, because it's our divine right to create miracles. And all the saints have talked about it. So we keep calling, we pray for Fantuzzi every day, you know, that be miracle healing. Including finances.
You know, I also brought into the chat room a cat dancer who has done so much for Fantuzzi and traveled with him over the years. Kat, anything you'd like to share?
Oh, I don't know. It's just been kind of fun watching it all unwind this evening and listening to you guys and seeing that there's this whole big love thing zipping around the globe. It's not just Saturn that's got rings these days. We've got it all over the place. And I've been rampaging through loads and loads of memories while it's been going on. I've been to the Philippines. An email came in from David Webb while you were playing Fantuzzi. So that reminded me of when he took us to the Philippines to the Summer Peace Festival, and like, what better festival could there be to go to with Fantuzzi? And heading out to India with the fantastic Eli, who made an appearance last week, and this week we had Khalil on screen, but we were in India with Eli at the Kumbh Mela, and 85 million other friends hanging out with Fantuzzi. That's how popular he is. But it's really cool to see everybody coming online and getting a global audience and people coming together to support you, because you've spent so much energy over the years just supporting everybody else and helping people find different ways of expressing love and compassion and community. And it's really important, even more important now than any other time. So I love you.
Loving you.
Well, I want to say lots of those comments are still flying in Fantuzzi from Kaz, Jill Bittinger, Woody, Apple, just on and on and on. So I'm saving all these chats, and I'm going to send them to you so you can go through and read. Coco. Okay, we've got someone named Coco who wants to come on and offer some words. So Coco, I am promoting you to a panelist. And the mirror, it is kind of amazing, this technology, isn't it? That, you know, we can,
mind-blowing.
It really is, it's incredible. I'm trying to promote you there, Coco. It's saying, okay, it's saying that you will rejoin the webinar. Here you come. There you are. I'm unmuting you. You need to turn your camera on if you can.
I must start my video.
There.
Wow.
We hear you. There you are.
Tuesday,
Hey, bro.
brother. This guy, by the way, I have become his LA home base over the last decade, and we have done more beautiful jams together. It's absolutely unbelievable. You look well, Tuesday. I know it's all a fat cake, but you look well. And I look like shit because, you know, I thought I might shower this morning, but, you know, I'm kind of hanging out here. In any event, to you twos and to everybody, we're well aware that we create our own reality. And a lovely thing has happened at this time. A big hand has slammed down on the red mushroom button to stop. And from space, the clouds of pollution are vanishing. The air has gotten cleaner. You know, we have to be vigilant because the guys with the guns are still dumping shit in the water, you know, blah, blah, blah. But just the chance for myself and a lot of my friends to just take a breather. They will not let the economy fall apart. Our rent will be forbeared. There will be forgiveness. People's jobs will be, you can't let them go because the retention issue is awful. So it's really going to be okay. Everybody needs to calm down, stay the fuck at home.
Thank you, Coco. Thank you.
You bet.
I want to also say thank you. We are really close. We need $30 more, actually $35 to top the 10,000 mark. I really want to thank Larry Weinberg for a very generous donation.
Wow.
We got another anonymous person. Thank you, Wendy. So come on, somebody out there, $35 more, and it's going to put us over the $10,000 mark. I feel like Jerry Lewis, who used to do the telethon. So thank you, Debra Giusti, for the idea to do this. I think it's great. So I think we're pretty close to wrapping up. So I'm just hoping for that one more donation to come on in to put us over the $10,000 mark. And again, thank you.
I'm doing it.
Okay.
Okay, great. Jay Mayer is doing it right now. So let's twinkle Jay. Thank you, Jay. We appreciate it. And you know what?
Jay.
Since you're putting in 35, go ahead and add a zero. You can make it 350. That's totally cool.
Oh my God.
All right. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to wrap us up here.
Okay.
But we'll be back next Saturday night with something special. Fantuzzi, you think you can join us next Saturday night?
I'm not going anywhere.
All right. All right. Well, thank you again, everybody. You can watch the recording, share the recording. It's on a lot of walls. Spirituality Gone Wild, Love Coach Academy, Scott Catamas, Debra Giusti. Thank you. God bless everyone.
Ed Elkin, thank you.
Thank you,
Ellsworth,
Ed. Big Ed Ellsworth. Ed
Yes.
Ellsworth. Ed Elkin's back on Maui.
Thank you, family.
Thank you, Ed.
Thank you, Ed.
Thanks,
bless you.
everybody.
Thank
Good night,
you.
everybody.
Bye, good night.
Good night.